Good evening. I just wanted to say thanks for all your comments on my channel. I have gotten quite a few new subscriptions, and thanks for subscribing. I'm not sure where this is coming from, but thank you nevertheless. I appreciate it. The comments on some of my latest videos entailed the fact that sometimes I say too much and I pause too much and so on. If that bothers you too much, then you should probably tune out right now, because you're not going to get an official broadcast. I'm not an official broadcaster nor television announcer, so when I try to formulate my thoughts without having the piece of paper on hand that I have actually read, or the books I've read and so on, I tend to pause and I tend to reflect, and so that's how it works out. So if you just want flawless commentary on YouTube, then my channel very definitely is not the place for that. Tune into official news and television, and you can get that there very easily. So tonight, an article and by David Glenn Cox. It's entitled "Too Poor for Bankruptcy." We as a country seem to have a little problem saving the wealthy from the clutches of poverty. We'll bail out the banks and insurance companies and mortgage funds, maybe. The formerly big three automakers will meet the new administration this week to arrange a further multi-billion-dollar bailout, maybe. How can we say no? Hundreds of thousands of jobs are dependent on these industries. So I guess we must help them. But our society is so out of touch in terms of economics and so out of whack. Most of our problems seem to evolve from a falling standard of living in America's working class. And yet, when we call for help for America's working poor, we are told, we are told that it can't be helped. Yet the local food pantries, 40% of them, say that actually 40% of the recipients of that food are full-time employees. Just yesterday I read this: liberals are traitors, losers, punks, criminals, baby killers, homos, and the scum of our society. They are godless, plus they cost a whole lot of money, and you're going to have to burp them frequently. How is it that we have come to hate our own people? Is it then to be assumed that the heads of the banks and insurance companies are liberals? The state of Georgia, for instance, gave Hyundai Motors a $100 million 10-year tax credit to build its parts distribution site in the state of Georgia. That's a $25,000 per year per employee subsidy. Is this liberal or conservative? We let minimum wage flounder for almost a decade, and despite the results, still argue about its impact. We worry instead about welfare queens living the life of Riley while we schlep off to work each and every single day. Here in the state of Georgia, the maximum welfare payment is about $574 per month. The program, formerly known as food stamps, is only available to families without children for 3 months, and only if they make less than 130% less poverty level. 100% of the poverty, 130% of the poverty level, less than that. Why do we call it poverty level if you must make less than that to even qualify? If you made $15,000 during the first 6 months, during the first 6 months of the year, and then you became unemployed, you're not eligible, period. If you're self-employed or a contract worker, you're not even eligible for unemployment. If you've recently left the military or graduated from college or technical school, you're not even considered to be unemployed. Like the poverty level figure, the unemployment numbers become very fuzzy. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to be, figures. After 16 weeks, you become what's called a discouraged worker, no longer ranging in the statistical analysis whatsoever. You've dropped off completely. You are a non-worker, a non-person, and you're ineligible for any assistance of any kind. We worry so much about the hive and forget about the bees. But for the hive to even prosper, we have to have healthy bees. We funneled $750 billion in to rescue the banks, and now the CEOs are contemplating, again, whether they should give themselves bonuses. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Our economy is disintegrating before our very eyes. Almost 250,000 jobs lost just in the 30 days alone. And it's going to get even worse. This new administration, to its credit, is holding its first economic meetings 3 days after the election. No one knows what the outcome of this is going to be, of course. God, isn't it great to be a free American? No socialist concerns here whatsoever, except for socialism for the banks. Besides, your wife still has a job, and you still own your home, maybe. And after you've lost all of those things, you're welcome to apply. Maybe then you'll qualify. Why do we hate our own people so? We pour out billions of dollars in aid to other countries and billions of dollars towards our military budget, essentially killing people. But you know what? When it comes to our own people, the vindictive streak always comes out in us. When Hurricane Ike hit Houston, one woman blogged on the hurricane website, "How do we even know that those people are entitled to a free ice and food? How do we know that they are even from Texas?" To which I have to say, what the hell does it matter? If you don't have enough to eat, if you don't have enough to drink, it probably shouldn't matter what fucking state you're from. It's basically boils down to some basic humanity here. And so, yes, it's my blog is, or vlog rather, is pretty much pissed off at this point. I mean, we cannot even call ourselves a nation if we're just going to separate into groups without helping each other. And, you know, when times get tough, that's probably all we can say is we have nothing to offer, and you're just sheer out of luck. I don't believe that's the right approach.